Hello everyone, this is GW31979 here. And here's a discussion what this young man was trying to say about racism. Here it goes.
Silent consciousness about what it means to be American that I sense coming from white folks that I'd like to talk about. But before I do that, I'd like to say one more thing that's hard about talking about racism, and that is that people of color are spilling their guts and doing education to white people. Let me explain to you how you've got this wrong. Let me explain to you how you've got that wrong. Let me explain, and then we get cross-examined, and it's like, well, maybe your problem is blah, 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 blah. And it's always, racism gets looked at as a person of color's problem, and it's not. We're like on the receiving end of the problem, but we're not the problem. I walk in a world where black people, where Latinos, where Asians, where Arabs, all these different people are experienced as problem people, and that, well, we're going to deal with the person of color problem, when in fact racism is essentially a white problem. And that for you to understand what racism is about, you're going to be so uncomfortable. You're going to be so different from who you see yourself to be now that there's just no way for you to get it from where you're sitting. And I'm not saying that you could never get it. I mean that you need to step outside of your skin and step outside of what seems really comfortable and familiar to you, and launch out into some real, for you, unknown territory. And you haven't gone out there like you haven't, gotten in proximity to black people, as you say, because you don't have to. And that's part of what it means to be American, to me, is to have all these things that you can do if you want to, that you don't have to do if you don't want to do. And there's a way in which American and white and human become synonyms. That why can't we just treat each other as human beings? To me, when I hear it from a white person, it means, why can't we all just pretend to be white people? I'll pretend you're a white person, and then you can pretend to be white. Why don't you eat what I eat? Why don't you drink what I drink? Why don't you think like I think? Why don't you feel like I feel? God damn it, I'm so sick and goddamn tired of hearing about that. I'm sick of that. That's what it means to be human being to me. That's what it means to be white. That's what it means to be American. Why don't you come the hell over here? That's what I hear every goddamn day. And you know that I can't come over there. You know that this skin, and that this hair, and that this way that I talk, and that I think and I feel will never, ever get included, because I'm unpalatable to this goddamn nation. I'm unpalatable. You cannot swallow me. You cannot taste me. You cannot feel me, because you don't want to. You think that you can survive without me, but you can't, man. You think that, hey, it'll all be fine when we just treat each other like human beings. And what that says to me is, don't be yourself. Be like me. Keep me comfortable. Connect where I'm ready to connect. Come out to my place. Or maybe I'll come down and get some artifacts from your place. That is bullshit. When you say that your ethnicity is American, there is no American ethnicity. You had to throw away your ethnicity to become American. That's what it means. That's what it means. You give up who you are to become American. And you can pretend that it's okay because you're white. When we give up who we are to become American, we know that we're dying from it. You're dying from it too, but you don't know it necessarily. Get ethnic, I'm not going to trust you until you're as willing to be changed and affected by my experience and transformed by my experience as I am every day by yours. I attended a school for the first time that was predominantly white, and I had white teachers. And I walked into the classroom, and there were 3 reading groups in my 5th grade classroom, and I was promptly put into the lowest reading group. And I gathered very quickly that that was because I'm of African American descent. Then they put me into the intermediate reading group, and then they put me into the highest reading group, and I just boiled and churned through the whole process because my reading level was higher than anything they had in the classroom. I'm always dealing with you. I'm always dealing with you. You don't deal with him. You don't deal with me. Maybe you had an opportunity to deal with some Latino people. But we always deal with you, baby. Always. Every day.
You hear that, white folk? Especially white males? We have to deal with you every fucking day. Non-stop. We don't get a break. Us black folk, Aboriginal brothers and sisters don't get a break from you. Mainly black men, we don't get a break from you. We really do not get a break. That's how I feel about that Aboriginal brother. I don't know why he called himself African American. You just degrade yourself right there, but I always said that in my last video, but I digress. But besides that little part, that motherfucker is pinpoint accurate. Bang on. Bang on. That's passionate right there, man. That's like his real soul coming out. And you should see the white guys were cracking up laughing. But you saw the Asian guy and the Latino guy and I think the Arab guy in the corner in the background, they kept their fucking mouth shut. Because they know what the fuck is up. I'm trying to tell you, black men. I'm trying to tell you, Asian men. I even try to tell you, Middle Eastern, the Arab men. And a lot of your, indigenous Mongoloid men as well. Yo, white dudes are laughing at you. I'm not saying all of you, but most of you are laughing at us. That's what it takes to be American, to be a clown, to strip your indigenous identity. You got people label you African American knowing that you're not fucking African. And then you got this poor young man right there calling himself that like an idiot. And then people wonder why he's so bent out of shape and frustrated. Yeah, you've been labeled. I said this to my job about 8 years ago. My old job. Before I work at this current job. 8-9 years ago. Like, America became a label society. It didn't happen overnight. It took years. It took over 500 fucking years, man, to label every fucking ethnic group. Not racial group. There's no such thing. An ethnic group and a nationality group as a race. How does it feel, white man, when you got an intelligent, black brother, like that guy in that video, like myself, get angry at you? Not so much out of envy, not so much out of jealousy, just frustrated, like what the fuck it's going to take for you to come in outside and know what it feel like? Why we have to be forced to integrate with you in our fucking land that you stole? But you can't do the same here. And like the guy said, it is happening to you. You're just too stupid enough not to know it. You're too blind. You're too shamed. You're too proud. You're too arrogant. You're too naive. You're very native to this shit. Yeah, you're Native American, alright. You're the naive American. That's what you really are. And what he explained it right there, what I try to explain it to you, and Tito the Fresh try to explain to you, and even Iron Ball try to explain it to you, that is the real definition of racism. This is what I have to go through every fucking day, every time I work at my job. The brown paper bag test, like they did to that brother that you just saw. Oh, he's kind of light skinned. He's kind of fair skinned. Oh, so you know what? We're gonna lower his reading level to dumb him down. You always feel like every time you know you're capable of doing something more, it feels like someone put like a mega ton of bricks on your back so you won't stand upright. That's what racism is. That's what the imperialistic, colonialistic, white supremacy is. It's not just a religion. Well, I'm trying to tell my brothers at Cloning Tito, it's not just a religion, it's a fucking mental illness. Just like a religion is a mental illness, racism is a mental and sociological disorder. All white supremacy is another form of being a patriarchal liar. If you keep repeating the lie, you believe in the lie. And the saying goes, if you believe in the lie, then it's not a lie. And we force feed you with this lie, call you African American, call these true that I'm so upset I can't even think straight. These true Latinos, which they're not Latinos, they Mongoloid indigenous Indians as well as the indigenous blacks. We gonna call you indigenous Aboriginal blacks African Americans, and we gonna call you indigenous Mongoloid Americans Latinos. You gave them a fucking damn subtitle. You also call them a subclass. You call them subhuman. That's what you call both parties. You call them subhuman. But see, I'm going to keep calling you brothers as Latinos until you stop having yourself referred to that way. You know how long it took the Asians for stop having people call them the Orient? Dude, it took like over 340 fucking years. I always tell people this, for the Asians, you know, nothing for nothing. Granted, yes, Bruce Lee might have been obviously an actor, and he was a martial artist, but he opened up gates for people to respect your culture and respect your ethnicity. Because you all were grouped at one point as the Orient. You didn't even have no names. They just call you Orientals. They basically whitewashed you for over 340 fucking years. Up, you know, for the last, say, 20 years, they started naming each, you know, Asian descendant in the United States by their actual Asian nationality and ethnicity. Most people don't know that. It's only been like the last 20 to 15 years. It took them a long time. And if the motherfucker was alive, he'd be happy, but at the exact same time kind of upset of how strong white supremacy has gained. But I digress. That's how we really feel about you, white folk. Is because it's not out of envy. It's out of the fact that we upset of the fact that we were stolen. You stole our integrity. You stole our intelligence. You stole our land. You killed many people. I got videos of the Holocaust what happened in Australia, the Holocaust that happened in Canada, the Holocaust that's going on in South Africa, the apartheid, the Holocaust that happened throughout Mexico, the Holocaust that happened throughout the Mesoamerica, the Caribbean, the Caribbean. If I want to, I could post those links up, and you know what? Nobody ain't gonna fucking watch this. No black, no white, no whoever, not gonna watch this because you motherfuckers are too busy being entertained right now. You too busy living your box, these groups too busy living their box, this group too busy living their box, and so on and so on. You motherfuckers need to get the fuck out your box. You already spiritually and socially segregated. You might not be physically somewhat segregated, not as big as it once was during the Jim Crow, the Black Code, and the segregation. Maybe certain isolated cities like Boston and Chicago. And certain parts of New York City, not anymore. But by you living in a fucking damn cubicle, that's the thing. That's the thing about racism. Most people don't understand. They train you from early childhood. If not your parents, the institutions where your parents take you to train you like a dog, like a Pavlovian dog that you are. Basically, to them, you are a bunch of Pavlovian mutts. That you gotta live this way and that way, this way, because this is your culture. This is not our culture. This is how the Europeans live. You go to Europe. Yo, my fiance in-law lives in Europe, man. My mother-in-law lives in there. She tells me how segregated and fucking isolated these people really are. She says sometimes white folks could be psychopaths just by living in isolation alone. But I digress. This is G331979 here, and this is the real definition of racism, part 2 of part 6. Stay tuned. I'm out.